Hi guys, it's Jill Blanchett with Green Thumb Stampers. I am here for another Friendly Friday video, and I have a quick question. Does anybody besides me critique the way they look? I look at myself on these videos that I do and I just wonder, what the heck? My hair looks different. I'm looking at it right now. My hair looks different every single time I do a video. Whether I just got it cut, whether I need it cut, whether I'm in the middle of a cut, I don't ever look the same. So this is me though. But it's just crazy. I critique it and I think, oh, I should go fix my hair. Oh, I should do this. And I'd never get here. I would never get here to show you guys anything. So I'm just getting right at it. And today is dies. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of things about some of the Stampin' Up! Dies because not all of them do what you think they're going to do. And so today I'll explain some of the inner workings of the Stampin' Up! Dies. So hang tight. I will be right back. So today's discussion is going to be about our dies, the Stampin' Up! Dies. Now, some of you purchased the curvy dies like I did, and this is one of them that's in there. And so if you want to put that swooshy, swirl, curviness on the bottom of your paper that you want to mount on your card, you're going to take your paper and you're going to lay that down on your big shot or your cut and emboss machine like so. Oops, this is the one I want to be on the bottom. Sorry, I try and keep one a little more pristine than the other. So you're going to lay your die down on your paper. Gonna get it all lined up nice, and oh, I want it down here. I want it down here. I want it to touch the edges like so. Perfect. I'm gonna put my other plate on the top. You're gonna get off camera. You're gonna swirl everything around on your desktop. You're gonna run it through. Going to be so excited to put that on your card, and then look what happens. You've just cut your paper off, and the part that you wanted on the bottom is now a little speck of paper. You could still use that. You'll have to come up, make another design to use it, but this is what I want to show you guys. I've had a couple people mention that they don't like these dies because they're hard to use. So I'm going to show you a little trick for you to look at. So you see this die, this line sticking up here. Can you see this line here? That's your cut line. All these raised up image outlines of this flourish, those are going to cut, which is also what's going to happen here. It's going to cut. So if you want your flourish to be at the bottom of your paper, you want to turn it, I'm going to call it upside down, because that cut line is now going to be at the bottom of the paper. So let's try this again. And then your flourishy thing will be at, although it kind of looks backwards, it's not. And it's hard for me to, I was just using these today, and that's also why I decided I better speak up and show you. So now see, we cut off the curvy part, and the flourishy part is now at the bottom of the paper. Now, if you want, guess it doesn't really, it's not really going to hang off, so, or it could be at the top of the paper. So that's just a little show and tell there of how like these curvy keepsake dies are going to work. It's that cut line, that piece of the sticky uppy metal right there, that is going to do the cutting. So it's going to be that same way with all of your stuff. So you've got this rectangle, stitched rectangle here. It's got your cut line. So, and then your little dots. You're going to run it through. I'll use the same piece of paper. You're going to run it through, and you're going to end up with this. You're going to end up with your rectangle cut out. But since there was nothing between the dots, no other like stick up metal to cut it out, you're only going to get that cut out with the stitched around it. Which is pretty you'll see that one, you know that one. So that's where the layering comes in. So I've got some of the stitched rounds, we've got rectangles, we've got squares. So this particular one is going to cut it out and stitch it, and you're going to still have the center. So that's when you take another die and you layer them, and then this line here is going to cut it again. So if you're looking for like an open oval, let me see if I can, my paper might not be wide enough. Yeah, it is. So I'm just going to sort of put that in there. It's going to possibly come out crooked, but I'm just going to throw that in there for you. So boy, this thing is hard to get to grab on camera, guys. Sorry. All right, so now we're going to roll through the ovals. And because we had the two sizes, we got the small one doing what it's designed to do. But because we wanted the hole in the middle, you layer it with the smaller one, and then it will cut the inside out for you. See it? So that's an example of how you can utilize them to get the extra cut line so that your center is cut out. You don't always need the center cut out, but you could then use the smaller one and pop it up, but sometimes you want that whole thing in a different color. So I'm going to also show you another, let's see which one. Let's try this one from the Curvy it's not Curvy Keepsakes, they're just Curvy Dies. You see this one? This is just got the pop-up lines in it where it's going to cut, but you don't see an outline where it's going to cut it out. This one is going to just give us, I believe, we're just going to get the cuts in the paper. So you would use this more for like a border or something, but it's going to stay right on your card. It's not going to be something that you will be able to physically use as a border. It's going to, you would put this along the edge, top or bottom edge of your card. See, that's just all that's going to do. And it does do a little bit of like embossing on there from the swirlies. You do have all these cute little leaves if you wanted to place them, pop them up in the holes along the route. That's something you could do too. But see, I just wanted to show you that that die is not, I lost it, there it is. That die is not going to give you anything that you're going to have in your hand to physically glue onto your card. So this could go along the bottom border or the bottom, say like this is your card, you could put it along the bottom
of the card so that when you opened it up, these were in there. The little leaf cutouts were showing. You could then put a piece of designer paper behind it, or put the designer paper on the inside on the lower, so then when it was shut, the paper would show, and then you would open it, and then it would have that strip along the bottom. I hope you guys can visualize, because I'm thinking out loud kind of, and then thinking about my husband who cannot visualize, so I can't really talk and explain something to him without him being able to understand what I'm talking about. So I hope you get that. I hope that's making sense. But I just, again, I'm showing you some of the dies. That was from the Curvy dies. This guy is from, I believe this one's the Ornate dies that came out there in the annual catalog. And this is going to do the same thing. This is just going to cut you a strip on the paper that you are putting it through the machine on. So let's scrape those things off there. So what we're going to say is, oh, here's our rectangle. We want to put that on the front of a card. So we'll take the rectangle, I believe, came from this same set. So that's probably why that fits perfectly in there. So we're going to use that as a embellishment on the card front. And it's going to be crooked, but don't judge. So this thing is just going to, again, cut that out. So now you've got another fun, just a border, an element, I guess you could call it, that you can use somewhere, because that's all it does, is it just cuts the holes for you. It does not cut out the shape or the image. This one came from the Poppy, I can't remember the name of it, but the Poppy Parade, the Poppy's stamp set. These were the dies. This was in the dies, and this is the one that I was using, and I'd never used it until today, and this is what prompted me to want to show you guys, along with some questions that I'd gotten. But this one too is just going to cut you out the design. It's going to cut a hole in the paper wherever you put it. And what I'm doing was I put it in the corner of the paper to make like a corner, not an embellishment, but what do I want to say? I wanted to adorn the corner, maybe you want to call it, and just make the cutout along the corner of the cardstock. Now this guy, he needs to run through the roller brush to get the pieces and parts out, but as you can see again, so you guys get it. I won't keep you any longer. I just wanted to show you different uses for the dies that you might not be aware that that's how they work, because sometimes if you're like me, you buy the die set for one particular option that it has for you, like cutting out the poppies, and not worrying that what this one does, because you weren't going to use it, but it looks really cool. And I'll show you what I did with it so you could see it like in action. I made a easel, not an easel, but like a stand-up calendar card. I've got all these little calendars left over still. So today on my Tuesday Facebook Live, I'm going to make a bunch of different uses for the calendars, and I wanted to just put an embellishment in the corner without having to stamp, so that I could give it away, the parts and pieces, without making stamped images. And I tried that die, and it just worked perfect. And here up here is the Curvy Keepsake one, or I keep calling it Curvy Keepsake because that was the stamp. The Curvy die with the flourish in it, I used up here. So that is the dies in action and how it looks on the card. So thanks, guys. Enjoy your weekend, and I will be back again.
Okay, guys, I'm back. Do I look any different? I went and fixed my hair. Just kidding. I didn't have time to go fix my hair. I'm done. I hope you guys enjoyed the little tutorial of information on the Stampin' Up! Dies, and I hope that you are enjoying my video series. So I'll talk to you again next week. Until then, have a great day, have a great weekend, and happy stamping. Bye-bye, guys.